In 2020, amidst the coronavirus pandemic, surging demand in Taiwan led to the nation's leading mask maker, CSD, to spend over $4 million on a new factory. CSD mask production went from 700,000 to a gradual expansion to a total of 2 million masks per day. However, as the coronavirus spread around the world and Taiwan became noted for its effective campaign to contain the virus, demand for CSD products surged, with foreign sellers eager to order the Taiwanese masks. The company has said that over the last few years, CSD has committed to their slogan, Health in Style, producing masks in special colors including orange, blue, red. They were so popular that they had become scarce collector items. Today we'll talk about what CSD is producing 4 years after their 2020 production reform. I'm your host, Joey Chou, and this is Beyond the Reefs. Hi, you're listening to Beyond the Reefs, a show produced by Radio Taiwan International. Here we talk about socio-economic issues that are faced by Taiwan and their broader impact around the world beyond the reefs of this island nation. Former Vice President Chen Jianren, former Academia Sinica President Wong Qi-hui, and Oregon State Professor Ji Junhui attended a seminar by the Pontifical Academy of Science in the Vatican. The seminar, which took place in November on a Tuesday, concerned COVID-19 health policies, vaccinations, and long COVID effects. 18 experts from 8 different countries were invited to participate in the workshop. They endeavored to review the health and science policies implemented during the pandemic, explore next-generation vaccines and factors driving vaccine hesitancy, and discuss cause and cures for the long-term health consequences of COVID-19 infection. Former Vice President Chen said that Taiwan's rapid and effective response to COVID-19 was praised by other attendees as a model for epidemic prevention. He added they were especially impressed by Taiwan's ability to produce high-quality masks and vaccines in a short period of time. Chen also emphasized the importance of enabling Taiwan to cooperate with the international community during global public health crisis, to which Xi added that China's attempt to conceal the epidemic cannot be ignored. Today, we'd like to talk about one of the contributors to help Taiwan through this global health crisis and what they are doing now. He is the CEO of CSD, a medical product manufacturer in Taiwan. His name is Jonathan Chang.
Hi, my name is Jonathan Chang, and I'm the CEO of CSD. We manufacture medical supplies from gauze to gowns to face masks to alcohol prep pads. We started out with gauze back in 1947, so we've been around for a while. And then we slowly went to non-woven and then cotton tips and then face masks. So I guess it's in a category of disposable surgical dressings. It's like that's like the official term, like surgical dressings. Well, I think face masks should be our dominant product right now. We actually don't produce non-woven anymore. We actually buy the non-woven and then make it into face mask. Yeah. So like gauze, you start out with cotton, and then you need to weave it together. You actually do a bleaching process, and then you sterilize it. But for non-woven, it's actually not woven together because it's not woven. So it's actually sprayed out through like these little tiny holes. And it's basically, you can say it's kind of plastic. It's basically mostly plastic. There are ones that are not plastic, but most of the ones you see non-woven are plastic.
Okay, so that's the main difference between, say, gauze, one of your main products, and masks that you were making a heap amount of back in 2020 during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. Can you tell us what other products were you also making during that time that sort of were eventually phased out because you had to put your production elsewhere, namely into producing masks?
We actually have about 300 to 400 products, including SKUs. It goes up to like 700, 800. So we pivoted by decreasing the manpower for our other products and shifted over to face mask. That's essentially what we do. Yeah, and one thing in our company that's a little bit unique is I never turn on the maximum power for all the output. Let's say the output is at 100%, but we only go to 70%. And that's for a reason for special cases like this. Because for our products, normally when there's a spike, there's always some sort of how do you put it in layman's terms, like natural disasters. So we need to keep that open. Otherwise, when we need to have production for it, we couldn't even have the output for it. So that's what we do. I'm not going to say everybody does that in our profession, but that's what we tend to do. And also during normally those 30%, I use it also for R&D new products or trying new things out, So there's that as well. It actually started with my grandfather. Yeah, he's always been a very innovative guy. So he always believed in R&D and doing something new, but that actually takes time and takes machines, it takes away the output. So that's why he tends to kind of maintain everything at about 70%. He's always prepared for what's to come. So I think in terms of that, I think he has a vision and sees like further down the road that, hey, in this profession, you're gonna need that 30% someday. But back in the day, that was right after like World War II, right? So maybe what he had in mind is maybe there's going to be another war or something, right? So, but now we're looking at more like flu season or stuff like that. And we do that 30, 70%. We also do that with manpower, with my personnel. It doesn't matter whether it's the production line or the office workers. I always try to maintain it at about 70%.
Okay, so the 30-70% rule, where you try to leave 30% of extra capacity for example, natural disaster or wartime crisis. Can I ask, what products do you ship to other countries?
Yeah, we export to mainly Malaysia, also US and Japan. I guess some of the more products that are a little bit more interesting is what we export to US mainly is actually bandages, emergency bandages that are used on battlefields or EMTs. Yeah, so the bandages we provide is for gunshot wounds. That is something a little bit different than what we do provide here in Taiwan. Taiwan doesn't really need that as much. So the machines that makes the bandages for the battlefields or EMTs, those machines are custom by us. So what these products will look like is it will be very compacted and it's also vacuum packaged and then to a very specific dimension. And to do that efficiently and uniformly and consistently, we're able to do that. Yeah. Most of these products, they used to come out of China. And then there's also Mexico that makes it as well. And then there's us. So I don't think there's some that are made in the US, but I think these are mainly the countries that actually make these kind of things. I think for a while we do a couple of the bigger brands in the industry. The industry is really niche. A couple of brands we do, I think half comes from us, half comes from the US. So they're actually slowly turning away from mainland China. So yeah.
Well, that's good to know that Taiwan is making high quality products, not just in the semiconductor field, but also in medical equipment or other accessories in medical. Can I ask about your other efforts? I did hear that you engage in a lot of grassroots or local county sized charity events and foundations.
The bigger ones that we do right now is we actually work with ST Lauder and their breast cancer during September, October, around those dates. It's the fourth year going, and we're still doing that. We always come out with like a 公益款 that part of the proceeds that goes to breast cancer. So the past 4 years, we donated about over 1 million NT each every year. um, and then on the side, we have another charity program going on that started with us. The program is called 星语拼图. Xin like a heart, 语 as in like the island. So 星语拼图. And what we do is we through arts and crafts and music and dance, we actually we sponsor classes that uh like let's say for dance class we sponsor a class for older people, for senior citizens. So for a dance class for them, it's about the healing of the soul, for that kind of thing. And we'll also do sponsored a class that's for like a theater for 自闭症协会的小孩, so like more schizophrenic So through theater, they learn how to express themselves and how to put themselves in like a fake character, and then kind of indirectly teaches them how to think in other people's shoes. So yeah, we do a lot of these kind of stuff. We try to go more towards the arts and crafts and music and these kind of arts, because my background is arts. My background is design. Yeah, so I like those kind of events, which is pretty interesting. Personally, we like to focus on Taiwan first, because I believe there's still a lot of counties in Taiwan that needs help and a lot of aspects. But we do donate to free clinics that sometimes travel abroad. So those, I wouldn't call it like an ongoing project. It's just whenever like NTU or 台大或是荣总, they come and ask us, we'll just provide it, whatever they need. So we do that.
By the way, these university medical institutions or hospitals that Jonathan just mentioned were pretty sizable, are still pretty sizable here in Taiwan. Some of them have been even voted as some of the most renowned medical institutions around the world. So now I'd like to ask Jonathan about some of the endeavors that he has been engaged in ever since he became the CEO of CSD. Last I spoke with him was actually 3 or 4 years ago during COVID-19. And back then he did tell me that he had to put on hold a very interesting concept for face mask designs, as well as other products that he was looking to pursue, but they had to focus on COVID-19 first. So, Jonathan, did you end up doing any of these things? And if so, can you share with us? Or do you have any other products that's currently in the pipeline that you can share with us? Maybe we can expect from CSD in the coming weeks, months, or years.
Yeah, sure. So in the face mask, we're looking at how this can be a fashionable product. And the new one that we came out with is a spec called 3DV. So we have a 3D face mask, and new one is 3DV. What that essentially does is kind of um, we increase the comfort level, and also when you wear it, the sidelines of the face mask kind of makes your face looks a little bit more V-shaped, which is V-shaped term is in Asia is like the thing girls want, right? And also makes your nose a little bit more pointy, I guess, or gutty, right? Which, I mean, I'm sure Caucasians that's very normal, but for Asians to have pointy noses are less. Yeah, so that is actually being received really well. But on top of that, we're actually looking into other categories that's not face mask, which is also interesting. So we go back to what CSD represents. Our slogan is health and style. So we believe that the concept of health is becoming more and more a lifestyle and sometimes a fashion style. So our first product was the face mask, bring color to it, being fashion to it. That's being health and style. But that's only the first product. On the other products, we're actually coming out with other categories. For example, oral care is something we're looking into. I think this started with back in 2000 when I think, or was it 2001 when SARS hit, right? Now, after SARS hit, a lot of these Purell or Ganshiso started coming on the market. But before, it was only in hospitals that you use it. But now you see it in a lot of different households and purses and a lot, right? That's home care. That's what we consider home care. Yeah. And then apart from that, directly just medical products, oral care is also something we're looking into. And that's also health. We can make it fashionable as well. Now the product is not launching yet, so I can't go into too much detail. But we want to bring the idea of health and style that can comes in a lot of different products. It's not just face mask. Like look around us. A lot of medical equipments are becoming more and more handheld, and accessible, and it can look good while you still increase the benefits to your health, right? So we're looking in this area, and I believe that is the future. Everybody is more caring to their health, whether they're using more innovative products or even AI health. That's part of it as well. So that's the direction we're moving in.
Yes, the concept of AI is leading every single industry in Taiwan and around the world at the moment. Back in October, the Health Ministry announced the establishment of 3 AI centers that will focus on responsible implementation, forensic verification, and impact research, as they were talking about the initiation of these centers that effectively solve concerns regarding the use of AI in clinical practice. Chou Taiyuan, who is the health minister, emphasized that not only has Taiwan reached an important milestone for domestic AI medical applications, but it is also ensuring competitiveness in the global field. He pointed out that Taiwan must accelerate the introduction of smart medical technology, optimize long-term care policies, and improve medical care, especially in the face of declining birth rate in an aging society. He finally stressed that AI can assist in environmental impact, resources, and manpower allocation, development of new drugs and technologies, and sustainable development of the nation's health insurance system, echoing President Lai Ching-te's vision of a healthy Taiwan. So my final question for Jonathan, before I let you go, is, has CSD been implementing AI somehow in your production line, or do you have visions of doing it? Or also maybe more on a personal note, what is your understanding of AI and how does it help to excel what you guys do? And what efforts have you been making in that? And are you contributing that, 30%, that 30% capacity that you don't use on production lines to maybe design AI production lines?
So like nowadays, a lot of the topic is like 数位化, right? And then honestly, a lot of the 中小型企业 in Taiwan, they don't really understand what 数位化 is. They think like doing AI is 数位化, but honestly, AI is really not artificial intelligence. It's really just an upgraded like automation. You know, it does not pass the Turing test, right, whatsoever. So when you're going to do digital upgrades, a lot of the basic stuff like upgrading your ERP, your CRM, and stuff like this, I think people need to start looking at it, and that's what we've been doing. So another part of, how I was talking about the 70%, 30% kind of ratio that we do in our company. I do that with the personnel is because with all these new tools, it actually takes time for them to learn. So I think the whole 7:3 ratio also helps in that aspect when I'm upgrading my tools for like digitally upgrading my tools. I'm able to do it, and then they won't be overwhelmed. That's also something that helps with the 7:3 ratio. I think a lot of companies in Taiwan, that's like let's say 100, 150 or less, um, like personnel or less, they actually have been lacking with this kind of stuff. Let's say you want to 请假, you want to get a vacation, and then the application is still paper. That's not even digitalized. So it's not going. We don't even get into like the CRMs, the customer relation management programs, the systems. A lot of them probably don't even have that. And I think that is a crucial part of if you want to step up to international. These tools are essential. You know, you no longer need an agent in another country doing some work for you. If you have all these set up, you're able to do it yourself. It's changing rapidly, and a lot of the base that companies need for you to start using AI or all these things they're interested in. They didn't even start with the basics first, and they want to jump ahead. And I think that's a problem in the industry, and that's we're trying to overcome that as well.
All right, so a company that's been around since the 1960s, back then they were more worried about wartime efforts and what the company could do for the country in that era. But now, as we enter a new age, not only do they help to alleviate some of the problems Taiwan had with COVID-19, and also thinking about the next step into AI and health. And that concludes our conversation with the CEO of CSD, a medical product manufacturer here in Taiwan. I'm Joey Chou, and you've been listening to Beyond the Reefs.